Welcome back to Nazareto's channel. Today we'll be doing self-folding mirror, power folding mirror installation. This is the whole kit that I received here, including the mirrors, the cables. There's even connectors. There's everything we need here, and we got the whole system here. So carhometrim.com sent me this package, and this video is being sponsored by them. I will try to install these mirrors. So what's going to happen is, like, when you hit the power lock or unlock, the mirrors are going to fold by themselves, and you're also going to have like a button on the inside. You push, you can fold the mirrors. We'll see. I'd like to show you what I got in this package. There's all the tools you need, hardware. There's a little control unit that we're going to install inside the door. There's a button for the mirrors that we're going to install on the inside. Extra wiring. I don't know what this tool is for. And we got this power mechanism that's supposed to go inside the mirror. There's a motor, and then there's like this whole assembly. In this package we have mirrors. These are also heated mirrors with a turn signal built in them. So the turn signal is here, built in on the inside. The only thing I don't see is like a blind spot monitoring icon, like on the original mirror right here. We have a blind spot monitoring little blinker. I don't see it on those mirrors. What else we have? We have wiring, all the connectors, little fuse in here. So we got for the left side, now this is right hand side, and this is for the other side, left hand side, the driver. I'm gonna try to figure it out. First thing I have to do, I have to take this door panel off, and we're gonna start from this edge right here. We're gonna pry this, and this plastic piece is supposed to come off. I bought actually these trim removal tools. They're plastic, and instead of using a flathead screwdriver, you can use this. This piece comes out relatively easy, and then there's a screw. We have to unscrew that, Phillips, and now we have to take this handle off. So you also have to pry it on this side and pull this end out. You gotta get your tool removal, you have to get the tool on this side, in this corner, and slowly start popping this handle out of the place. Keep going. When you get to the end, don't pull. It just comes off nice and easy. And now we gotta get these screws off. Unscrew these. 1, 2, what is this one? 3, 4, and I think there's one in there. Once you remove these screws, 1, 2, 3, there's 4. The rest you gotta go from the bottom and just pop this panel out. Start from this corner, just pull it. As you see here, there's a little dimple, like a little indentation. Put your fingers there and pull on this corner, and then go from the bottom, go up, and same thing, work on this side. So this door panel is off, and carefully look on there, and you see the connectors that goes to the window regulators. Make sure to unplug this and unplug this part right here. Now once this door panel is off, make sure you guys get these plastic pins out. Pull them out, here, 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 and we're gonna put these back into the door panel. So what I just do, I take pliers, or actually I have a tool removal, a special tool for that. So let me show you the tool that I have. You can use this kind of tool. Push this in, and easily removes these pins. Also, do not lose these little, like a rubber washers, I would say. Don't lose these. I got all these plastic pins out of the door, and we're gonna put them back in place, like right here, right here, right here. Make sure that these rubber like washers are back in place, because they reduce the vibration of the panel, supposedly. Anyway, we have all this pin in place. They're all back, nicely clipped in. Next part, I think we gotta disconnect these connectors. So unplug this one. There is one here. Push this pin. This one is out. And then one here for the mirror controls. This one is out. Take my 10mm socket. I'm gonna put it right here and undo this bolt, because we're gonna try to take this mirror off. Moving this a little bit tricky. On the top there are these pins. You have to push down on them at the right angle and then pull this panel out. So you gotta hit them at the right spot. I found this one here. I said another one here, and I believe there's another one there. And that was right. These two on the top. See, when it's sitting like this, one here and one here, and push these on the side, and this panel comes out. So you gotta be like kind of like careful. Don't just pull it. Hit these tabs at the right corner. Now we can see the bolts that hold in the mirror. 1, 2, 3. Looks like there's 3, and a little plastic piece right there. Try to get to those. Now these bolts are also 10mm, so use your 10mm and start removing this 1, 2, 3, and a plastic piece. Once you undo those 3 bolts, right, 1, 2, and then 3, there's a plastic pin that's holding the mirror. Make sure to hold the mirror on the other side, and then it comes out nice and easy. This is the mirror. It came out. Now we have to take this housing apart. So let's figure this out. Take your pliers and then screw these bolts like this. Start working on that. These bolts are removed. Take this rubber piece and disconnect it. What we have to do, take this panel apart. See, there's this pin, these clips, 1, 2, 3. This bottom portion should come off once we remove this. So take your tool, start slightly prying them out. Alright guys, I was managed to get this piece off. It was a lot of effort. You know, it's hard to get this piece out, and you have to just wiggle it and play around these corners, but you have to get an access to this part right here. See this part? To this motor right there. We have to get access to that so we can start disassembling that. So once this part comes off, there's like clips on this side, clips on this side, clips on this side and this side. This whole thing, you know, comes off. Don't break it. Be careful. And now we can have access to this. Next step, you have to disconnect this plastic mirror housing off and go at this corner and start unclipping it all along the edges. Once this plastic piece comes off, also pay attention, there are these clips on the side. You got to get these. And then on the top, and this piece just completely comes off. Put it on the side. Now we have an access to the back of this mirror, so we can start disconnecting everything, and we need to remove this piece. So that's gonna be fun. You gotta disconnect this. Get your flathead Phillips screwdriver and remove these bolts. 1, 2, 3. And can carefully unclip this part. Once the bolts are out, this piece is moving. there's a clip here, you gotta push it this way. See? Gotta push it over there and out. So that's what we're gonna do. Now this whole piece just comes off, and there's also clips here and one here and one here. So pretty much this whole thing just came off, but you have to disconnect this connector also. You gotta push it and pull. The connector came off, and this whole bracket also came off. Nothing is broken. Next step, we have to disconnect this plastic unit from the front mirror assembly, which is this. So we have to remove 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, guide these wires through, and then there's this connector right here, the tiny one. Let's get this one first. Gotta push on this little connector right here and pull it up. This connector is off. I mean, you took it out from this little port right here. Let's get to this one. These pins are very delicate, so you have to carefully pull it up, or like pry it underneath with a flathead screwdriver and push it up, and then pull it. Once these 4 screws are disconnected, 1, 2, 3, 4, take a flathead screwdriver and pry slightly this connector out. It's gonna come out nice and easy. Just get this screwdriver and start prying it out. You see, these connectors are disconnected, and now this part is freely moving. Mirror is disconnected from the housing. The goal is here to replace this part with this whole unit. We gotta do this somehow. Look on the inside. Looks like this part is clipped in here, as you see. Here, here, and we have to remove this screw from underneath. And then also there's a bunch of these pin connectors. Gotta remove them. Next step is to remove these 3 bolts, and I have this kind of tool for that. We're gonna do that. Unscrew these 3 bolts so we can get this whole bracket out of the way. As you see, this bracket is moving out of the way. This is what we want. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get this cable out of there. So in order to get this cable out of there, we have to push the small tiny pins on the corner here and on the corner here, and push this connector out of the way. So when you push at this hole right here, like when you push this connector on the side, you also have to push it on the inside, and at the same time pull this connector out of the way. Same thing with this one. See, there's a little clip. You gotta push it to the side and also push it on this little pin that's sticking out through the hole, and then the connector will come out. It was very hard to do this job. It was very difficult. But now, since this plastic housing for the connector, or the, what do you call that, this piece right here, since this piece is out, now what we can do, we can guide these wires out through all the holes and out, and we can take this piece off. Keep guiding this cable out, keep pulling it until it comes out through this hole. Now this unit is not done yet. We have to do this. We have to get to these screws, unscrew them, and replace the whole bracket with the new one. These 2 screws are removed. This whole unit just moves freely and it comes off. And we're going to be replacing this one with this one. But we have to compare it first to the original one. We have to look at everything. We got to make sure it's identical. So far it looks the same, so let's install it. This portion that here does not require any force. Make sure everything aligns, and these plastic locks lock. So you kind of slightly twist it in place and align everything. Also these holes right here, align it where the screws go in, and then also these holes right here, align it where the screws go in. See here guys, this is original unit. left hand side. Once you align this part, there's a hole here for the screw to go through, and here. On the new one, it looks almost the same. We can still put the screw through here, but not here. I don't get it. So once you install it, you know, when you install it. Install this aftermarket unit. It fits everything. It fits perfectly fine, but here there's no hole for the screw. It's just not there. But that's okay. Put a screw through here, and this whole unit locks in place. So it looks just like the original. This back plate looks just like the original. Next thing, what I'm going to do, I have to guide these wires that were disconnected. I'm going to guide them back through this hole. Through this hole, it's going to come out, and we're going to attach it to the mirror assembly. Right now what we're doing, we're guiding this cable that we disconnected, guiding through this hole right here, through the new unit, and we're just going to pull it on the other side. Just keep pulling. And also we have to pull this cable through here. So this end is gonna go through this hole. So through this hole too. So once this cable went through the hole here, came out through this hole, and then kind of routed to this hole, put this rubber piece at the end, and now we're gonna connect with these bolts. We're gonna connect this motor to this bracket. As you see, one screw is secured. There's two more to go, and let's finish that. Step, you gotta take this bracket from the lower part of the mirror and align everything and clip it back into place. So align everything, all the teeth, all the locking places, and just click into place. As you see, this unit back in place. Also look over here under this rubber piece. Make sure these clips are clipped on. You know, just go around the perimeter, make sure this one is clipped on. You know, everything is secured on this side. One thing I forgot to do to guide this cable, the power cable for the mirror, through here, and through the hole over there, so it can come out on this side. So this connector could be connected right here. So we gotta guide the power cable out through here, come out, go on the inside and out. Once this power cable is through the holes, through everything, now we can assemble it back together again. So back to square one. This is how it looks. The power cable goes in through the inside, through this hole, comes out right here, and we need to connect the power cable to this connector right here. This is going to be our power folding mirror, and we're going to assemble the inner part of the mirror too. But first, let's put these let's put this piece back together into this port. So the reason why I'm going to install the original mirror, because the original one has like a little blind spot monitoring sign, and this one does not have it. You see, the connector is supposed to go here like in the original one, and this one does not have it. So I'm just going to install the original mirror back in place, and because I like the original one better. This one is like blue. I mean, it does have a heated mirror element, but it has like this turn signal here built in. I'm not gonna mess with it. I do when my original was a element that shows me a blind spot. This mirror around, install these screws into place where we unscrew them from. There's 3 of these, 1, 2, and 3, and of course tighten them up. Once these screws are in place, now what we're gonna do, put this mirror and align everything. So I align the mirror with these holes right here, and we're gonna put screws through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these screws are back in place and they hold in the mirror. Now what I have to do, take these connectors right here and plug them back in right here. Align everything, make sure everything's nicely aligned. And all you gotta do is just push them in nice and gentle. Push them into place. Now this bracket does not have, see, like this one, original one, has like this little cable holder thing. This one doesn't have it. But everything else seems to be the same. So now we're gonna do, take this connector right here, and we're gonna push it into place right there. And next one, we're gonna take this one, small one, and plug it in, push it in there. Alright, so let me use my flathead screwdriver. I'm gonna show you what I did. This connector, plugged it back in. Make sure you know which way to plug it in. Take a picture of it. This little piece also plugged in. These connector also plugged into the mirror. And this one is going to be going, they're going to be connecting to this LED light. Another step, you got to take this lower bracket for the mirror, put it together. You got to like push it in, and make sure you hear a click. Everything aligned here perfectly. And click this connector right here. Make sure everything nicely pushed in. Now what we have to do, put this LED turn signal inside this bracket and then clip the connector for the power right here. So I'm trying to figure out how to put this back since I already clipped this back on into place. So I gotta like push it in somehow. So be careful. Alright, I aligned everything. I managed to push this piece into place, connect the connector here to the power, and now let's put the screws through here. 1 and 2. So now what happens is this. I'm going to leave this cover off. I'm not going to put it on, this piece right here, because I'm going to try connecting this mirror to a power supply. Not sure if I connected this piece correctly. You know, the red one is positive. I'm not sure if the green one is also positive. So once we connect this and the mirror doesn't fall, that means I'm going to change these different way around. So let's install this mirror. I'm going to mount this mirror to the side of the car, and I'm going to try connecting all the wiring. So put the mirror in place. These 3 bolts has to go through. And on the other side, you have to guide all the wiring. Have to get all the wiring through. Same thing with this connector. Make sure it's out like this. All right. Now we're going to secure these bolts. 1, 2, 3. Get your 10mm socket and start securing the bolts. Well, my dear YouTubers, we found out that this unit that they sent me, I won't be able to connect it because these connectors are different. These are different than these, and also this one on the door. They're different. I was able to plug in this part, this connector right here. This goes to the door control unit, windows. I did such a nice job installing this mirror. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Such a nice job. I installed everything. Very good. But unfortunately, the connectors are completely different. These connectors are completely different. Yep, I cannot plug them in. I cannot do that. Oh well. Well, guys, project was unsuccessful because they sent me the wrong connectors. What happened is that, as you saw, I plug in the mirror, everything together, I put it perfectly together, guiding all the wires, and the connectors are completely different. So what I did,
I had to disassemble everything and putting the old mirror frame into place, and just putting all the original components.
They sent me this 2 mirrors like this, brand new. Within like 3 days I received this order. Customer service was great. It was very easy to deal with these guys. carhometrim.com, they're awesome. But this mirror does not have blind spot monitoring sensor here. So I decided to keep the original mirror. But then again, you saw what happened. I assembled everything and the connectors were wrong. So these two connectors supposed to plug in into a door panel, but they're completely different designs, so I can't plug them in. Check this out. This is a nice button here. They're supposed to work. When you press the button, the mirror folds, or when you lock the car, the mirror folds and unfolds when you unlock the car. So this connector worked fine. This connector, power connector, worked fine. These were useless. So even though it says here Rav4, but it doesn't fit any connector on my car. And the manual, there's no manual that can tell you how to do this job. So guys, at least now you know.
So ladies and gentlemen, my conclusion about these self-closing power mirrors is this. The guys at the cartrimhome.com, they try really hard. The components they use, they're pretty good. Like for example, what I really like is that this part right here, this inner piece with the motor and the spring, it fits perfectly into your mirror. And as you saw in the video, everything aligned, everything is good except this one screw. You cannot screw it in, but it's attached very nice. This is a good quality plastic, good molding. They tried very hard. And also these mirrors, they sent me these mirrors, right? Like I said, I don't think this is for my Rav4, because my Rav4 has a, that has a blind spot monitoring, and these mirrors came without blind spot monitoring. But what's cool thing is, these are also heated mirrors, right? There's a wiring and everything, and inside the mirror, actually behind the mirror, like in the back here, there's small LEDs. It's like an arrow, and when you turn on the turn signal, you will actually see at night the turn signal on the mirror itself. So that's cool. This first shipment came in broken. The other mirror was cracked, so I called customer service. They're amazing. They replied to me within like an hour or two. They sent me the product within 2 or 3 days. I had a new shipment, both brand new mirrors, and I really like that good customer service. These guys try really hard. For now, I installed my mirror back in place. Everything works nicely. The panel is back in place, and you guys now learned from me how to take this door panel off, how to disassemble the mirror if you want to, replace it. So unfortunately, this video was not 100% completed. Sorry for disappointment, but at least we tried, right? That's all it counts. I'm gonna contact the company, cartrimhome.com, tell them my story. But at least we learned one thing. We know how to disassemble the panel, take the panel off, the handle, how to take the mirror off, how to disassemble the mirror, and all the parts in the mirror, you can buy them. If you break it or whatever, you can replace it from the dealership. They'll send you new parts, so that's a good thing. And I don't know what else to add, but I'm gonna conclude this video that it wasn't completely unsuccessful. We put everything back together. It's just we don't have a power folding mirrors, unfortunately. So maybe in the next video we'll be more successful. But my mistake from the beginning, when I disassemble everything, I should have tried plugging this in. But my mistake was I look at the connectors. There's 2 connectors, one plugged in on the top, one on the bottom. So I figure, hey, yeah, it should work. Why not? It says Rav4. There's a sticker. It says Rav4. And I was primarily like worried that this part right here wasn't gonna fit inside the mirror, or something gonna be like not aligning. But they did good job. The molding, the plastics, very, very solid. And next time we'll finish the job, promise you. So have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching Deserados. Subscribe.